Yo, YouTube, it's your boy Philo B. I am Philo, and I'm coming to you again with another NBA 2K21 player build. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and let's jump straight into the video. The NBA player that I'm going to be bringing to you guys today is none other than the only LeBron James build. But this video is going to be different than my more traditional videos in the sense that I'm going to show you two different ways to make this LeBron James build with two different pie charts. So between those two versions of the LeBron James build, I'm pretty sure there's a little something for everybody. So jumping into the position, I'm going to go with the point guard position. I know traditionally LeBron James plays the point forward role, but during his tenure with the Lakers, LeBron has had to shift more to that point guard position, and being the point guard position, you will be able to control the floor more. Moving on to the hand. Just like I said in my Kobe video, LeBron James has also practiced the art of using his left hand, and in real life, LeBron James is actually left-handed. He just tends to shoot with his right more than he does with his left. So if you go left-handed, I'm pretty sure no one will be mad at you in this LeBron James video. And you guys know what I say, I'm left-handed in real life, so I'm gonna go with the left hand. For the jersey number, nothing other than 23. Moving on to the pie chart. So for the first pie chart, we're going to use the pie chart that's half slashing and half playmaking. Moving on to the physical profile. After playing the game for a little bit, we've learned some things, but I'm going to go with the fastest pie chart because we're going to want to gain as much speed back as we can after we finish making this player and increasing his height and whatever. Moving on to the attributes. We're going to put the close shot up to about a 78. For his driving layup, we're going to max that out. We're going to max out the driving dunk, and we're going to move on to the shooting. For the shooting, we're going to max out the mid-range, we're going to max out the three-pointer, and for the free throw, we're going to max that out to an 82. Moving on to the playmaking, we're going to max out his ball handle, and we're going to put that passing accuracy up to about a 71. Moving on to the defense, we're going to max out the defensive rebound, the offensive rebound. For the block, we're going to put that up to about a 44. For the steal, we're going to max that out completely. We're going to max out the lateral quickness and the perimeter defense. And if you did that correctly, you should have 15 finishing, 9 shooting, 15 playmaking, and 9 defensive rebounding. Moving on. For the body shape, I understand that most of us are going to want to go with a solid built body shape, but I'm gonna go with burly. The reason why I go with burly is because I tell you guys all the time that burly body shape tends to make up for the lack of strength, and in this case, when we mess with his weight, that burly body shape is still gonna give us that bulky appearance and still make it look as if we have a little bit of muscle on us. So for the height, we're gonna put the height up to about 6'7". For his weight, I struggled with the weight. I went back and forth thinking about what to do. But in this case, with this version of the build, I feel like we'll be able to make it if we put his weight up to about 221. Moving on to the wingspan, we're gonna go up until the driving layup reflects 84, the driving dunk reflects 85, three-pointer is 63, and the ball handle is 79. When you move on, you're gonna have your choice of takeover. So I want to pause right here because I want everybody to look at this takeover, and I want everybody to think. Each and every one of these takeovers literally embodies LeBron James in some type of way. You can say, hey, LeBron's a slasher because of this. LeBron's a shot creator because of this. LeBron's a lockdown because of this. And we all know LeBron James is a playmaker. But in this case, going back to these stats, I feel like it's only right if I choose playmaking takeover for this LeBron James build, version number 1. So if you did that correctly, you'll come out with the slasher. Moving on to the builds, badges, because I want to show you guys the badges, right? And like I said, this is only the first version. I feel like some of you guys might lean a little bit more towards the second version because we learned that there are no elite dribble moves. So having a 79 ball control versus the ball control that I'm about to show you in a minute is essentially the same thing. So, you know, that might make you guys lean a little bit more towards the second version of it because the second version might have something that catches your guys' eyes. So moving on to the badges, I just wanted you guys to see that this build does get Hall of Fame finishing badges and it gets Hall of Fame playmaking badges. I'm not gonna actually make any upgrades towards the badges. I just did want you guys to see what you would get as far as Hall of Fame and gold. So 15 Hall of Fame finishing, 9 gold shooting, 15 Hall of Fame playmaking, 9 gold defensive. So moving on to the second version of this build. And like I said, this one might be the one that you guys tend to go to. We're gonna do the exact same thing as we did a second ago. We're gonna go left-handed point guard, and we're gonna go jersey number 23, just like we did with the first one, except for with this pie chart. The pie chart we're gonna use this time is not the one that's half playmaking and half finishing. We're gonna go with the one right above it that's slightly more finishing than shooting. And I know what you guys are thinking. You guys are like, what? You're gonna use a finishing and somewhat shooting pie chart to make a LeBron James build? And the answer is absolutely yes. And you guys will see why I decided to do that in a second. And like I said, I personally feel like this build is gonna catch your guys' eye more than the other one will. So jumping into that physical pie chart, once again, we're gonna use the fastest speed pie chart because we're gonna need to make up on some of that speed when we increase his height. Going into those attributes though, man, those attributes. As usual, we're gonna max out their driving layup, we're gonna max out their driving dunk, and then we're gonna also max out their close shot. Moving on to the shooting, we're gonna max out the mid-range and the three-pointer, and we're gonna leave that about right there in that ballpark. Moving on to the playmaking, we're gonna max out the ball handle, we're gonna max out the passing accuracy, and we're gonna pause there for a minute, but I might come back and change that. Moving on to the defensive, we're gonna max out the defensive rebound, gonna max out that steal, gonna max out that lateral quickness, gonna max out the perimeter defense, and then we're gonna max out the interior defense. But using our last 36, I feel like it's only best that we put the rest of this in defensive. I know the 13 playmaking badges might be a little overwhelming or underwhelming, sorry, for most of you guys, but you honestly don't really need more than 12 playmaking badges for this build and just in general in 2K. So like I said, we'll dump the rest of this into our defensive just to get those 2 extra defensive badges. So moving on to the body shape. Same thing as I said during the first half of the video, we're gonna use this burly body shape because it's still gonna give us that built, bulky appearance that we want so we can be bullies on the court, as I say every video. Moving on to the height. We're gonna put the height up to 6'7", just like we did in the other video. Nothing has changed there, but his weight. This is where I said I struggle. Instead of going 221 pounds as we did in the first half of the video, we're gonna drop his weight all the way down. I know you guys are saying, you know, hey, that's not really a LeBron James build, but if we settle at 188, we can recover some of that lost speed. Moving on to the wingspan. With this build, we're gonna max the wingspan out completely. Now let's pause right here. I want you guys to see something. By maxing out that wingspan completely, we get an 83 driving layup and 84 driving dunk, right? So the first version of this build had an 85 driving dunk, right? Which was full-blown contact dunks. But this build has an 84 driving dunk, which is one less, so you'll have to grind to at least 96 to get an 85 driving dunk to unlock all of your contact dunk abilities. But something that this build does not, something that this build does have that the first version did not have is that 71 three-pointer. And that right there, I felt like it would catch your guys' eye more because the first version of the build got about a 62, 63 three-pointer, somewhere in that range, right? But this version of this build has a 71 three-pointer. And as you guys know, because I'm pretty sure you guys have played this game just like I have, we're struggling to shoot. They're more than likely going to come with a shooting buff. And the reason why I felt like you guys would lean towards this build more is because that 71 three-pointer, once they do that shooting buff, and with the 10 badges you have, you will be able to shoot with this LeBron James build. And who wouldn't want to be able to shoot? Yes, I understand that it's an 84 driving dunk versus an 85, but just for that one missing tick, you get a 71 three-pointer. And as I said about the ball handling at the very beginning of the video, a 79 ball handle this year and a 72 ball handle this year is literally the same thing, because they took out the elite dribble moves. So you have to have an 85 anyway to be able to get the pro dribble moves, which I disagree with, but that's another video for another time. So this is why I felt like this one would be the one you guys would lean to, because you get a 71 three-pointer. Moving on to the takeover. As you can see, the takeover is exactly the same as it was for the first half of the video. And in this case, once again, looking at it, I feel like it's only right for me to go with playmaking. I always say though, this is strictly preference, so I want you guys to decide what's best for you and go with what's best for you. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna go playmaking. And if you did that, you will once again achieve the name of Slasher. Moving on to the badges. Like I said, man, I feel like you guys will lean towards this one just because of that 71 three-pointer. It's gonna jump out some folks, and some folks are gonna be like, man, I would rather have much more shooting than that one little contact dunk attribute. Moving on here. Contrary to the first video, you only get Hall of Fame slashing with this build. I understand that some of you guys might want Hall of Fame playmaking, but like I say in other videos, you gotta give to receive. So by getting that three-pointer, you can only get Hall of Fame finishing, but I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to make that work. As usual, the badges are strictly preference, and that's gonna end the video. Jump in the comment section, let me know how you guys feel about these two versions of the build. If you like it, let me know. If you don't, let me know. As usual, let me know what you guys want to see next, and I'm out of here. Peace.